day. We got
What's up, SVC squad? It's the girl Michelle, back again with another video. And a disclaimer, this video might be emotional, but I'm not gonna cry because I can't cry. I am a happy person, and I kind of am a cry alone, so I don't cry in public, and I cry about silly things, to be honest. So this is story time, and as promised, this is the story about my high school experience. I'm gonna go year by year and just break down each year. Hopefully this video won't be too long. It shouldn't be too long. Like, I'm gonna just go fast as I can. So freshman year. So I always want to be popular. I always want to be cool, right? So I, just like everybody, I don't know, like maybe not everybody, but I always want to be popular and cool. So bad. So I would do things like brag, talk about stuff like, oh, these boys in my inbox, talk about like, ooh, yes, I'm pretty, ooh, like this person did this to me, this person asked me, can she take pictures with me, like, and I would just brag, and a lot of people didn't like that, and so I made enemies, a lot of enemies, especially in my class. Friends who I've had since that I made in middle school started to not like me, or maybe they didn't like me to begin with, but they started to show that they didn't like me. So that kind of took a toll on me, and I started to become sad in freshman year. But then I got a boyfriend, and so even though I wasn't able to hang out with any of my classmates outside of that, I had a boyfriend to hang out with. But then sophomore year, I started getting left out of things more bluntly with my class. One time I walked into class and this girl was throwing a party and she was talking about it, and I was standing right there, and then I walked away and she was like, good, because she wasn't going to be invited anyways. And that hurt my feelings. I'm a sensitive person. That hurt my feelings so much. I just sat in class and cried. Nobody saw me. Nobody noticed me. There was a person literally sitting right next to me, right here, didn't see me crying. My teacher was standing right in front of the class. I'm the front desk. He did not see me crying. I put my head down and I was crying. And then when I had to put my head up, I just wiped my tears off. For the rest of that day, I was so sad. And I went home and I cried and I was so sad. My mom's like, what's wrong with you? And I'm like, there's nothing wrong with me. And this kept happening. I kept getting left out of sleepovers. I kept getting left out of mall, when they would just walk to the mall or anything, they would buy each other stuff and I would be left out. And so that started to take a real toll on me. I was really sad, and I would stay to myself. And then finally my mother was like, what's wrong with you, Michelle? And she's like, what's wrong with you? To the point where I just told her, like, this is what happened in that school. I feel like I'm getting bullied, like I'm getting left out of everything. I know it's nobody's obligation to invite me to anything, but I just feel like I had friends and now I don't have friends, and people don't treat me nicely. They talk behind my back, and they think I don't hear them, but in reality I do hear them, or people come back and tell me. And so she went to the school and was like, look, my daughter doesn't even want to come to school every day. She's saying she's sick. She doesn't want to come to school. She always wants to call me and leave school early. What's going on? You guys need to figure this out. So finally, the principal called us all in and we all had to talk. And this girl was like, yes, I do have a problem with you, blah, blah, blah. And so I thought we had everything figured out after that, but it continued to happen. And so I was pushed. People pushed me to just make friends outside of the class, and I made friends outside of the class. One was older, a year ahead of me, and one was a year under me. The one who was a year under me ended up leaving and going to another school. And the one who was a year ahead of me she was a really good friend to me. I was so nice to everybody that year just because I really wanted friends. I especially wanted friends in my class because they were like the people that I had to be with all day. So I really wanted friends in that class. So I would be so nice to the point where They weren't really my friends, but we would be sitting down somewhere and they would be like, Michelle, get up and throw this in the garbage. And I would get up and I would go throw it in the garbage because I wanted friends so bad. So then junior year, things started getting rocky with my relationship. I guess we were young, so he wanted to go explore and not be with me, I guess, or be with me and explore at the same time, which was not a good thing for me or my self-esteem. But I kind of just let him do it, and I just let him keep coming back because I thought I was so in love with him. So I let him do that, and so I fell into a deep depression. Like, I didn't have friends. I had this guy who was saying that he loved me, but was going out and not show his actions weren't matching his words. But I was the type to trust and believe his words and not believe what I was really seeing in his actions. And so we was breaking up on and off. I was really depressed. My grades was suffering. I was sleeping all the time, and this is the year I was sleeping all the time. One of the most important years before having to go to college. I was just sleeping all the time. My grades was slipping. My hygiene suffered. I didn't want to do anything. I just wanted to come home and sleep all the time. Didn't want to do homework. Didn't want to go to work. Didn't want to go anywhere. Just want to really stay in because I didn't have any friends. I felt so alone. I felt all by myself. I didn't feel like I could really talk to my mother. My sister, maybe I felt like I could talk to her, but she had her own thing going on, her own friends and stuff like that, so she didn't always want to talk to me. So I felt so alone. I felt by myself. It was really bad. It was a really sad year for me. And so senior year, this is when everything turned around and things started to look up. I kind of started, since I had to be on my own, I had time to reflect. I even had people tell me junior year before they graduated, the people who was a year ahead of me would tell me like, well, this is why I didn't like you, because your freshman year, you were doing all this. You were bragging. You were saying, oh, these are the boys inspiring me and blah, 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 blah. And so I really started to reflect on what they had told me. And this year, in senior year, I really found myself. I found that I could be alone. I really didn't need friends. I started to be myself. And even when I was myself, it's not that people was like, oh my gosh, I love Michelle. Look at her. She herself now. It was just like, I felt happy with myself. And then they kind of moved on from me and didn't want to bully me anymore, because I was like, okay, you can say anything you want. You can do anything. You don't have to be my friend. I'm going to go home and I'm going to be happy and I'm going to smile. And I just started being the silly, weird person that I really am. I didn't really, brag about anything. I really didn't tell anybody my business anymore. I stuck up for myself more, and that was due to one of my best friends who would tell me, girl, you need to stop being passive aggressive. You need to say stuff when something happens to you. You need to, and sometimes she would even try to jab at me herself to see if I was going to respond. And one time when I responded, her mom and her just looked at each other and kind of smiled. And I was like, oh, see, I'm so happy because I'm finally learning to stick up for myself. So kudos to her. I love her so much. She probably know who she is. And so I really started focusing on myself. I focused on my grades. I focused on really working hard to get into college. I got accepted into 20 plus colleges before I decided to go to the college that I wanted to go to, which was a very expensive college, which I didn't believe that I could get into because in the beginning of the year, my class was like, oh, ain't nobody going to no $52,000 college, and look where I am, okay, with scholarships. And I just started to be happy. I started to do so well that I was being used as an example. I was being used as an example. My teacher would be like, oh, look at Michelle. Look, she getting her stuff together. She got her stuff together. And that didn't help. That didn't help my situation. It made me feel good about myself. It made me feel better. But it didn't really help because then all my classes was like, she bragging. People bragging on her. Oh, my gosh. okay, we understand Michelle's so great, blah blah blah. And that did happen freshman year too with my writing. I kind of just, I'm a formula person, and my teacher gave us a formula, and I was able to follow the formula and be one of the best writers in the class freshman year. And she would always use my work as an example, and they would be like, like, okay, we get it, Michelle's a good writer. And so I was so happy senior year. I was only denied by one college, which was okay because my mom kind of pushed me to go to that one, and I really didn't want to go to that one. And now I'm just living my best life. I continue to be myself and grow every day. I've learned that it's okay to be alone, and work on yourself and be by yourself. I love that. Like, I'm not a makeup guru, and being alone and being by myself has gotten me to learn a little bit. I don't know if this look cute, but it got me to learn, like, to dabble in makeup, dabble in things that I really wanted to do, like do a YouTube page. If I would have been engulfed in all this, I would have never really got the opportunity to start my YouTube page. College has been so fun. I continue to be my weird self. It's so funny because my best friend, who you guys will see later when I go back to school, my best friend she finally met my family, and she was like, Michelle, you act the exact same way as you do around us as around your family. I'm like, yes, because I've been through so much, and I learned that I cannot fake, because when I fake, then things start to happen, and it makes me go into a depression. So I stopped faking. I stopped doing everything in high school, and college was so good for me. Like, people was like, girl, you so weird. I don't get you. Like, you just so weird. But they really accepted me for that, and they really accepted me for my weirdness, and they would always be like, yes, you so weird, but like, I could deal with it. Like, I actually do like it. Like, it took me a while, but I do like you, and I care about you, like you're a good person. And so even that has made me even believe in myself even more, because I'm like, even when I am myself, people tend to seem to like me more, and I've made some of the best friends I've ever made in college so far. I can't wait to get back and make more. So this is it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Go ahead, like, share, comment, subscribe. I'm so excited to be putting this video out. I'm actually putting it out today. I just made it today. And I'm actually put this one on Facebook too. So go ahead, like, share, and comment on Facebook. And now you can kind of relate more to the video that I did on tip number 1, knowing your worth, because now you know my story. Now you know how I really found my worth. And it wasn't just by myself. I had people from my church, mentors from my church, whom I love and I still love, and they always encourage me, text me and stuff, and they're always there for me. I had my mom. I actually had teachers. I had 4 teachers. 3 of them probably know who they are. My English teacher, my Spanish teacher, and my art teacher. So if you guys see this, I love you so much, and kudos to you. And also, I also had my history teacher. He probably doesn't know this, but he would sometimes say things to me, and I would be like, oh, really? Like, I didn't know this about myself. And so he really helped me too. And then my principal, my first 3 years, I'm so sad when they moved, helped me too. And so I just want to thank them so much. I hope they see this video. Well, that's all. See you guys later. Love you. I hope you're inspired by this story.